This program is being brought to you by Young's Welding. For your truck accessory, gateway, or all your other welding needs, be sure to call Young's Welding at 936-544-7432.
Let us pray. Father, we come to you today thanking you for another day you give us for health and strength. Lord, for all your blessings. Master, we just ask you to be with us as we participate in taking care of the county business, Lord, and that you'll do it. We'll do everything pleasing to you and the constituents of our county. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I'd like to welcome everyone to Commissioner's Court this morning. Do we have any comments from guests on anything that don't pertain to the item on our agenda?
Go Astros!
There you go.
Every game is
Left it clean up.
yes. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I was gonna do it. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna get some
Bright eyes.
I'm ready to pull you. What'd you say? My Facebook page is totally out here.
Item 3 on our agenda is to consider approval of prior Commissioners Court minutes.
Move for approval.
Motion made and second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, there being none, the motion passes.
Judge, I think we had 2 meetings.
Yes, there's 2 sets of minutes
Two
here.
sets.
Can we go back and in that motion to cover both meetings?
Yes. So we need a vote on that. Motion approved.
Okay.
Thank you. Item 4 is consider approving budget amendments. Do we have any this morning? We do not. Item 5 is to consider payment of bills and expenses. We have those in our packet. Do I hear a motion?
So approved. Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. There being none, the motion passes. Item 6 is to receive information, announcements, and reports from county departments. We have environmental and community service reports in front of us.
I move that we receive these information, Judge.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes.
Still over the board section, you got something to do? I have one thing I'd like to bring up during this section of the meeting. Just before we came in today, I had a call from someone north of Brakeman complaining about the rural garbage pickup. I wanted to bring that up because I wasn't sure if it was spread through other precincts. lack of service, I guess. These people hadn't had the trash picked up in, 3 or 4 days, and they called and were promised that it would be done, and it hasn't been done. That's actually the second call I got this month. So just, y'all keep that in mind. There was a point that we called the local supervisor in to the meeting and more or less called the department and said, what's the problem? That we need to resolve it because it creates environmental hazards, dogs getting in the trash, and what happens is if no one picks the garbage up, and those people sometimes will take that garbage down the road and throw it in the creek. And then it becomes an expense for the county, so it does have a domino effect if the trash is not being picked up when it's supposed to.
Throw it off in the deepest hole in the pond.
Right. So we may want to call them in, ask Chris Bankhead to come to one of our meetings and voice the complaints to him and say, what can you do to improve services? Because they're being paid, but they're not providing the service. Right.
I've had the same type complaints. I had one gentleman that had missed his trash pickup for 3 weeks. And it had come a shower or two, but I've been down the road. The road was not the problem. So yes, I think we need to talk to him about it. In fact, I had called Mr. Bankhead and he was out and still haven't got a return call. So I totally agree.
Would you put that on the agenda for next meeting and reach out to maybe a letter to them saying we'd like to come forward and address complaints?
Sure will.
Thank you.
Item 7 is to get. I'm sorry, to discuss and consider recommendations from Human Resource Committee for dispatch supervisor is 7A.
We may not have anything in your folder, Judge. What we did was we looked at the job description. That was a brand new job description for a dispatch supervisor. And we approved, I'm sorry, I don't have my papers with me. We approved the job description and we put it in a pay category and it'll be in your section of number 8.
Okay.
She's in, that person is in that group there, and I can't remember what the number was. Gary, do you remember? She was going from like a 1 to a 6, yeah, 15 to a 16. But we looked over the job description, it was an entirely new one, so that's why it had to come to us.
Okay.
And we thought that from a 15 to a 16, that would be perfect.
And that will be on our next agenda item.
Question. Did anything change about the job description from Susie Hammond?
Yes,
Yes.
it's totally different.
A whole lot.
Susie's doing.
And Susie was doing a whole lot more.
Yeah.
And Susie's position has been, needs to be
Well,
taken off the base scale.
Right. Susie's position went away.
Okay.
With Susie.
7B is, we need to act on
Something retired.
the 7A, but we don't need to, we'll address that in a minute. Dispatch supervisor we was talking about.
What are we going to have with the description to sign off on? Do y'all have a copy of the job description? Or we can,
Did we
that's
have
a,
one for the dispatch supervisor?
Yes, we do
Let me
that.
do this, I'll move that we would accept the recommendation of the HR committee for this position.
We have a motion, do we have a
Second.
second? Any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 7B is supplemental retiree medical policy, Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool.
Judge, this is their supplemental policy for our retirees, and I don't know if y'all have that in your folder. Somehow my human resource stuff I'm sorry, I messed up. I didn't put it in the folders, but it's right here on the screen. The current monthly rate up there at the Plan F is $244.71. It's going up to $268.48, from $244 to $268. And the prescription drug plan, which we do also, which is the plan, the next one down, it's going from $222.85 to $265.73. About $40 more.
No changes in the coverage, everything's still the same?
That's not changing one thing. It's exactly what we have had. So $60 per person. And how many do we have now? 6, 5, 6?
4 on this.
Oh, right, the other one's the different policy. 4 people, that's $60 per month per person.
We pay 100% on all of them?
Yes,
You know,
no, sir.
Some
Some of
yeah,
them, they pay a percentage.
Sure.
Only
How
one.
many years?
One does, Walter.
One gets 100, the rest of them.
No, the other way, he pays the percentage.
He does, the rest of them get 100%. Okay.
Sorry.
Does anything on that change when they become 65 get Medicare? Does
This
stay
is the one
same?
that works for the 65 that's getting Medicare. This is this supplemental policy that goes in addition to Medicare. Is that right?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's for the retiree age.
I move for approval.
Second.
Motion made and second, any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Motion passes. 7C is the Human Resource Committee replacement, member to that committee to represent Road and Bridge.
We lost Frank Womack, and we would like for y'all to take a road and bridge person, give us a new person if you can. Y'all may have to table that or think about it, and we can come back, we can do it at another court date, but we need another person. Because it is very helpful to us when we're working on the employee handbook and all the issues that are coming up. It's important to have a road hand because so many of us that are in the offices day to day, we don't know the issues that come across the road hands. We know some of them, but
I'll make a motion to table that one.
Second.
Motion made and second to pass on this, table it. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. It passes. Item 8 on our agenda is to consider approving salaries for new and/or transfer employees. 7A is the hiring of jailers. Charles Graham, part-time jailer, at a pay rate of $12.49 per hour. He will be filling a part-time position held by Mayhem to move to full-time. Second one is Veronica Hill to be part-time jailer at $12.49 per hour until November 2nd, then $998.83 bi-weekly at a full-time jailer. She will be replacing Deborah Hillbrant, who resigned October 26th. Dustin Brown to be a part-time jailer at a pay rate of $12.49 per hour until 11/2/17, then $998.83 bi-weekly as a full-time jailer.
Two jailers, Gary? Two more jailers, is what we got told.
We have,
We had
2 part-time, and then we added 1 jailer,
one full-time.
1 full-time.
How many more? You think, how many more you got in mind, full-time jailers you need?
6.
No,
I didn't say which.
that are funded this year.
Reword the question.
I'm going to vote on those, Judge.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, the same, there being none, that passes. 8B. Item 8B is moving 2 patrol deputies to investigators. Is that right? Jerry Kalen.
Does that require any special certification to become?
There are classes that they take, basically have basic investigator class. When you move somebody out of a patrol position and move them into investigations. However, Mr. Kalen has been in investigations for a couple of years with us already. We just never made the move here. And I think it was for budgetary reasons is why he was overlooked basically. And now we're just trying to make that one correct because we made a lot of changes at the office recently. Move personnel where they're going to be better suited.
How many investigators will you have once we move these 2 up to that position?
4.
4. Will they also be deputies?
Oh, yes, every one of them is a deputy,
So
of course.
they're not, their duties are the same, but they're just going to become investigators as well now?
Correct.
Is that all the investigators are going to?
But yeah, they're not on a patrol shift, they're working investigations.
So we're going to have to replace them as a patrol deputy though?
No, we're moving other people over there as well. We're making our changes internally. We've done a lot of manpower manipulation is what we're doing.
All this in the budget?
It's in the budget.
What I'm trying to get at, and I'm trying to follow, which it's not my department, so I'm just trying to follow from the money side. Here's what I'm doing. When we do this, are we increasing our numbers of people, warm bodies to take the place of, if we give a promotion, then if we got to replace a person, I'm just trying to see the big picture. Not specifically, but just an overview.
Well, the big picture is that the investigators still handle calls on patrol as well. So if we're short in an area, then the investigator will handle a call. And that's what we've been doing. That's how we've been operating. Because it happens.
If I could, the total position count has not changed.
And I was
Full-time
thinking,
equivalency.
sure, and I was thinking that was our goal, to add more people to eliminate some of the comp time and things like that. And I just want to hope that we're heading in that direction. Of course, it's not my department, but I'm just saying from the money side, I'd like to see the advantage of lowering those overtime, comp time things.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. But the only way to do that is to increase manpower.
But I thought that's what the object of putting more money into the budget was to increase manpower,
Not on the patrol side.
just the jailer side.
Not on law enforcement
So if
side.
you're okay on the patrol side, the comp time not a problem, is what you're saying?
No, comp time's a problem with the entire divisions, all divisions, because we have a lack of manpower, both jail and law enforcement side. It's just the nature of the beast.
Sure. I'm hoping that we won't come back again next year and say, oh my God, that we could show some progress for it, is what I'm saying.
We're trying. So, I mean, that's, somebody's got comp time, we need to get them off. But then somebody's got to fill that position.
Right.
So, and rearranging some of these guys and moving to investigations will help us a little bit. Mayor.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor of this motion, let me know, say aye. All opposed, the same, there being none, that motion passes. Eight C is investigator to courthouse security sergeant. We're going to pass on that. It's an agenda item of its own.
No.
No?
Number 9. Oh,
Yes.
no, that's the pay grade.
Yeah, it's that's it, number 9.
But that's a separate, that's,
We'll consider that in item 9. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong.
We still got,
We still got to do
the deputies.
all these others, but C,
Basically, what they're wanting
Agenda
to
item.
do is just moving positions. They're
right,
not, we already have a courthouse security sergeant on the pay scale, so they're just wanting to move that person into
Right.
that position.
and that's what, if I'm not wrong, item 9 on the agenda is.
It's addressing the position.
Right. Okay. So do we need to act on
We still got.
C?
I think C has a pay grade that is mentioned in number 9.
I think number 9.
Because
is
C's
separate.
form
That's
has
the grade
the
one.
pay grade that's being requested.
Yeah, that's the way I see it. You need to act on both of them, I would think. So that's more for a pay grade change.
C and 9 are one and the same, I think.
That's what I thought.
They're two different things, but they are still addressing one thing. They're two different things. C is they're notifying you that the person is moving from one location to the other location.
Okay? Well, then-
What's in common with 9 is that C still is referencing a pay grade that they're asking you to consider under number 9.
Okay.
So they're separate, but they're still going to be addressing a similar issue when it
Okay.
comes to the pay grade.
You know what the other, I've got to back up and I apologize. On 8B, we have another one, Billy Christian, that's moving from patrol deputy to investigator. There were 2 of those, and I did say that, but we only acted on 1. Do I hear a motion?
I'll review the motion to include that one.
Have a motion, here a second.
Second.
All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same, there being none, motion passes.
So there's 3 of those. And that's okay, I'm for.
Now we're back at C. And I suppose we should act on both C and 9, 8C and 9. Do I hear a motion?
Approve.
Second.
Motion made and second, any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, the same. Motion passes. Eight D is moving an investigator to investigator sergeant, Michael McCray. Current pay is $13.73.74 bi-weekly. The new pay would be $15.11.22 bi-weekly. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and second, any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. It passes. AE is moving an investigator to patrol sergeant Lorenzo Simpson.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Motion passes.
Judge, I think the hesitation is because everybody's confused. Am I correct? I think we're confused what we're doing.
Yep, let me shed some light on it. What we've done is, we have taken Mike McCray, who's in investigations. We've made him sergeant over investigations. Lorenzo, let me start back. Okay, Mike McCray, sergeant over investigations. Now, Ryan Martin, who's a sergeant in patrol, we're bringing him back to investigations as an investigator. Billy Christian is coming from patrol into investigations. Mike Molness is going to be the sergeant down here at courthouse. Katie's going to be dispatch supervisor, and who am I missing? Lorenzo is going from investigations to patrol sergeant.
And all this is within the budget of...
It's within the budget, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I gotta say, it's within this year's budget.
Right.
Is it within next year's budget? No. So you'll have to deal with that next year. But this year, they're short a person even.
Sheriff's office will have to deal with it. It's their budget.
We're within our budget this year, yes.
Yes.
And then next year, we're short a person right now. And next year, we'll deal with that issue, whether we fill it or not. But we'll deal with it at budget time next year.
Thank you.
Hopefully things lift up and,
Gary, one more thing would be helpful.
yes, sir.
Out of the positions you just named, the changes, which ones require pay increases out of all of them?
McCrake's from investigator to sergeant. And Billy Christian was a pay increase. Katie was a pay increase.
And Caitlin is a pay increase.
And Kaylin, yeah, Kaylin is a pay increase as well.
All, Lorenzo's also,
And
all of them.
except
All of
Molness.
them except Ryan Martin. He gets-
Yeah, Ryan's not a pay
he
increase,
gets a
neither is Molness.
decrease, looks like. No, it's gonna stay the same.
It'll stay the same.
This is great decrease,
And Mona stays the same.
And Molness stays the same.
yeah.
So all but two are increased.
Billy, Mike, Lorenzo,
Everything that says promotion.
Yeah.
Is it a 5% average?
10, what it says on paper.
Depends.
let's see.
Simpson is a 5%.
Well, we got, there's four of them.
It's a
Jerry
lateral
Kaylin
transfer.
gets an increase, Billy Christian gets an increase, Mike McCray gets an increase, and Lorenzo gets an increase.
If I can explain something, Commissioners Court sets budget based on positions. That's why we're having to do this. They are moving positions. Most all of ours, we have 3 people and they never change positions in our office. But in order to keep going with the pay scale that y'all have adopted, to keep going with the HR committee process that we've started, to do all of this, this is the steps that we really have to do to keep it all straight.
Okay.
And one thing I'd like to say is, this is, I think we need to do this personally because those people are doing those jobs and we need to pay them accordingly. Not whether it's in the budget or not, but this is also for y'all to be aware that there's a need in the sheriff's office that isn't getting met. And so they're having to create these new positions based on the employees that they have. Not advocating one or the other, just saying. That's why this big change.
It's not really creating a position, it's the position that's already there, we're just reallocating them and just, moving them into a position where they'll be better served.
Makes sense, I understand better now. Thank
Yeah,
you.
me too.
Thanks. That was part of the hesitation, it wasn't like we didn't like what you were doing. It's just, we didn't know what we were doing. So, thanks
That's,
to both of you.
we're all together, it's easy way.
We good.
Okay, we have. That's me. 8F is a patrol sergeant to investigator. That's a lateral transfer with Ryan Martin. I hear a motion.
So,
Motion made and second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. There being none, motion passes. G is dispatcher to dispatch supervisor, Katie Cook. Do I hear a motion? Motion made and second. All in favor of this motion, let me know by saying aye. All opposed, the same. There being none, that motion passes. 8H is part-time commissioner's assistant. Mary Lucas, as everyone knows probably, has retired, and Sharon Luker has taken her place. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Judge, I move for approval of this if Sharon will accept it.
Yeah.
I already had it.
That's a day's free.
Motion's been made. Do we have a second?
Second.
And second, all in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Here's one here, too. Item 9 is to discuss and consider taking action on moving position of courthouse security sergeant from pay scale of 19 to 21 due to assigned additional duties.
Hi again. Okay. What we're doing is merely moving the position to where he's currently at on the payroll. He's currently at a 21. We're moving him up here to be the sergeant over the courthouse security. But we're also increasing his duties as far as CID goes, because he's still going to be helping us with investigations, any major call-outs, crime scenes. We need his, I hate to say it, but his expertise in photography, and because it makes his head big. He's good, so we need him, and we'll have to utilize him when we need him. And there'll be other small investigations and stuff that he can handle up here in that office. We can forward them to him, he can knock them out, and it's great. It works for everybody. But we just want to bring that position up to his pay grade, his current pay grade, instead of moving him down into a 19. I didn't want him to feel like it was a demotion.
It's a lateral move in pay.
It's, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what we need to do is just get rid of that one position and make that position where he's currently at.
But that, right now, that position over there is a what job grade?
That is a 19, is that correct? Yes.
So we're gonna advance it to a 21?
Just
I
to
know he's
accommodate,
already- But that's gonna be from now on.
That job description could be changed.
based on the additional duties, and then if something happens, say he retires in 2 years, then we'll change it. because I'm only bringing that up to his current level right now.
I got you.
We have a motion to approve this agenda item. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, the same. Motion passes.
About to run out of ink.
They're getting willing.
Item
Mr.
10, after agenda was posted, we were contacted that they withdrew the application for the hot tax. So, we'll pass on that. Item 11 is to discuss and consider approving Title 4E County Legal Services Annual Review Contract number 24105139 with Texas Department of Family and Protective Services for county legal services for fiscal year 2018.
That's to the county attorney's office. The office handles the representation of CPS cases locally. And we receive some reimbursement for the hours that the assistant county attorney works on CPS cases and the office assistant. And they have a calculation based on a percentage and the number of children we have in foster care in this county, and that's the anticipated federal reimbursement amount that they come up with. So that's what this is. This is for a reimbursement grant for some of the CPS hours that the county attorney's office puts in.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sound. There being none, that motion passes. Item 12 is to discuss and consider approving replacement for board member for Houston County Emergency Services District Number 1.
Second.
Motion made and second. This is a bill letter. James Engel has resigned, and this would be replacing him with Cliff Warren. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All through the same. There being none, the motion passes. Item 13 is to accept as information the fiscal year 2017 seizure and forfeiture reports for the district attorney, county attorney, sheriff's office, constable precinct 1 and 2. We have these reports in our packet. Yes.
So this is a report that the statute says that the auditor is tasked with auditing and then presenting to Commissioners Court for record. Our district attorney collects all seizures for all entities within the county, and then as items are seized in the court or sold, then it's dispersed to the various agencies for their use. And that is the final totals, and then a little details on the front and back of the additional sheets. You can see what's pending and what's the new seizures and so forth.
Motion.
Move we accept this information.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, let it known, say aye. All opposed, the same, there being none, the motion passes. Item 14 is to discuss and consider approving a retention agreement and adoption resolution for approval of bringing suit on behalf of Houston County, Texas versus various drug manufacturers, developers, suppliers, and others of a class of pharmaceutical class of drugs commonly referred to as opioids, and approval of professional services agreement for special counsel. I have an email here from Daphne that she looked over this and it looked good.
Yes, sir.
So,
I'll move for approval then, Judge.
Second.
motion made and second. Any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same. There being none, motion passes. Uh-oh. The date on this resolution. Item 15 is to accept as information the fiscal year 2017 task force on independence report of court-appointed attorney costs for Houston County Courts.
This is also an annual report that I have to do. Our overall case count has gone down in the district court as well as the county court, but our expenses only went up 2,000. So we had some big cases this year is what that means. We had fewer, but we had bigger cases. Bottom line is, they give us a grant for $26,000. The district judges have the defendants reimburse the county for their court-appointed attorney fees, and it's collected through the probation department, through your clerk's offices, and that amount is $29,000. Our baseline is how much we spent before they enacted the required additional court-appointed attorneys. So every year we have to spend $178,000. And you have spent $248. So right about $70,000 is what it's costing the county more than, that's straight up unfunded mandate, half tax every single year, half a cent tax rate. The bottom line, the bottom column is what's civil court-appointed attorney fees. These are not submitted to the task force on indigent defense because they are parental rights, CPS court cases, all of those, they do not allow us to count towards our total expenses paid because it's civil, it's not criminal, they can't go to jail, but I think last year Judge Fletcher came and said that if CPS is going after parents' rights, then each parent has to have their own court-appointed attorney, and each child. And that's all of the fees down here. So you spend $100,000 alone on all of those fees. Something new that I just want to point out, we have an interpreter for now civil. So that was a new line item we had to create. But, yeah, so the grand total was $352,000 out of your jury fund, and thankfully it's leveling off. As you can see, I've got 10 years worth of data here for your review.
Melissa, in your list server, have you ever compared our expenditures on similar items to other counties that are our size? Are we average, high, low?
It's based on the case count in the AG's office, or the, what is it? Court administration office reviews that. And from time to time, what they're supposed to do is shift where your district judges are based on their case count, or make recommendations, oh, we probably need to get a county court of law judge, so on and so forth, just to keep it level. But as far as our costs, every county has to report this, and there can be an analysis done, but I haven't compared it with other counties. But the fees that are set to pay each court-appointed attorney, misdemeanors are $350 per case, felonies are $500 a case, juveniles are usually $500 a case as well. But that is set by the state. Our plan is approved by the state. So I will say that the judges have worked really hard about if they have multiple cases, if they have some misdemeanors in county court at law and some felonies in the district court, the county attorney and the district attorney, all of them work together to try and, it's called taking into consideration, to lump all of them all together. And that way we pay less in court-appointed attorney fees, but it's kind of the attorney's decision on that. But the courts, the district judges do watch that very closely.
Thanks. I'm going to accept the information too.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor of this motion, say aye. All approved the same, being none, motion passes. We will pass on item 16 at this time. 17 is to discuss and consider taking action to accept donation of property known as Brewer Park located on Goliad Avenue from Crockett Area Chamber of Commerce. I talked with Jeannie Julian, the Director of Commerce, and they were spending about $1,100 a year on the upkeep of that park, and they were willing to donate it to the county. The biggest part of that expense was the mowing and weeding. I talked to her. They would love to keep the property if that community service could maintain it. So, in visiting with Commissioner Kitchen this morning, it's whatever the court's pleasure might be, but I don't know a lot of advantages to owning that property. I did talk with Daphne, and she says we'd be fine to accept it. Our county attorney, yes.
As the risk management insurance, we'd have to get us an extra liability policy, and I don't know who all has events there.
Nor did I.
Pine Woods, so who can decide?
The judge and I talked about that same thing. We not only assume the ownership, we assume the liability. Somebody runs off the road, runs through the sign, we gotta fix the sign, we gotta get sued. So I asked the judge that we would decline ownership, plus it's in the city of Crockett. It would, by right, it should go to them if someone wanted to take it over.
Is it claimed off now?
Yeah, but, you know, that sign's gonna fade someday, and then people be
Right,
in court saying, y'all need to
exactly.
replace your sign, you need to print your sign, so it's just gonna be an ongoing.
It's historical too, isn't that where David Crockett drank water?
Yeah.
Night, drink water,
City.
some other thing we won't discuss, you know, but.
It's great. The city creek.
I think right now, would I move that we would decline the offer, and then we could negotiate about the mowing at a later date.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest. Maybe they can contact Constable Luker, and he might be able to have some probationers do that as part of community service to maintain that yard.
Would we need an interlocal for that?
Thank you.
No, it's probation.
Right.
I mean, they may have an agreement with probation department anyway, because I know probationers sometimes go out and help clean up after events at the civic center. They may already be on the list of approved agencies with the probation department. But, you know, they still may have to contact Constable Luker to have him send people there designated to maybe mow the yard and weed eat and that type of thing. If they're not on the list with the probation department, they can get on the list.
But not take a leadership role.
Well,
Not the county, you know what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
We have a motion to decline this property. Here, second. Motion made and second, any discussion? If not, all in favor of this motion, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same, there being none, the motion passes. Item 18 is to discuss and consider action on declaring listed inventory items as surplus and advertising to accept bids for the sale. We have a list of automobiles here in front of us.
Is you have 8 vehicles that some are running, some are not.
Now,
No,
revised.
Oh, yeah.
it was revised.
Yes.
That one's a,
The list, however many is on the list, yes. But I'd like first for y'all to declare those as salvage surplus and approve advertising to accept bids for that. And ask for direction on how you want them sold, if you want to do SWICO auctions or just advertise in the newspaper.
Can we leave that open at this time, just advertise for the sale of and
To
for the
accept
day of the
bids.
next, either or. I've been trying to get a hold of one of those auctioneering firms for the last 2 months and can't get them to return my calls. I'm not sure if it is
Who are you trying to get a hold of?
Auction Express. Because
Okay,
I need heavy equipment, so.
okay.
Yeah.
Renee Bates does heavy equipment too.
He does.
Yes,
When you get a chance, share his information with me in a text or something.
I sure will.
Thanks.
So.
Do you think that's the best way to go? Is on auction?
I do, yes, sir.
World Wide Web?
Yes, because you're getting bids from everywhere.
And we'll still have to advertise in the local paper, and then
Either
there'll be a
way.
link to their whichever website.
What's the commission on,
I'm not sure, maybe 10%.
Not-
I don't think you'd be better off.
is that?
I want to say it varies from 7 to 12.
Yeah.
Which one did we use with Anderson?
All these in A1 shape?
Not
Jim
very
Springer.
favorable.
Jim
This
Springer.
is not like the other.
What's that?
All these in A1
I think
shape?
you'd be better off just having.
Excellent for somebody.
What about the one?
And there's a difference in the commission. Some will say, send me pictures and send me updates of this vehicle, and they'll put it on their website, and that's all they'll do. Or, like one we used in the past, he'll come over, he'll look at it, he'll put exact description, he'll put the pictures on himself.
You probably looking at 15% commission.
He is worth it.
I don't think so. You're gonna have to advertise in the paper anyway.
That's gonna be done anyway, but as
That's
far as
what I'm saying.
gathering the exact details, this is all I have except for Daphne's office. Because the more information we get, probably the better money we
Not
get.
talking about big bucks here either.
No, it's not.
well,
It's getting it off, so we're not taking insurance, not
Bring your own record.
More crew.
We had that, we had a little bit.
Don't say that.
Yeah, in one way too.
Judge, you need a motion, don't you?
yes,
Here, you want to make a motion, go ahead, I'll follow what you're going to do.
I make a motion that we're gonna have to put it in the paper here anyway. And we're not talking about motor graders and $50 items. I just try it here and see how it goes.
our agenda item says, to,
We need to declare, I'm going to declare salvage, and then we'll go with that.
Surplus.
Surplus salvage.
Surplus, that's where you want, Mr. Attorney?
Well, yeah, it's on the agenda as surplus.
I'll look for something. I know that, I will keep that loud.
No running, do you know, on that?
What I,
Maybe we should have done it
well,
last.
to clarify, we do have to put it in the paper, but getting the bids in, opening the bids, contacting the people, getting the money, all of that will have to be done by my office. Times 9.
I'm here first, yeah.
You want FEMA money?
Yeah. I back up on my statement.
It's that, do a bunch of ads or send it
Let me
big.
say this about the internet auction. You may pay 15%, but you may make 20% more in the sale of the item. Okay? You're reaching a lot more people.
And transmission,
I've had that experience with this heavy equipment. You try to advertise it here.
motor
When you
and.
put it on the World Wide Web, you may get more money for it to make up for that 15%.
Well, that needs
Older
motor and
vehicles
transmission.
is a little different from heavy equipment too. I agree with you 100% on heavy equipment, but I don't think you're gonna increase your, ain't nobody, North Texas gonna come down here and buy something that's probably not even runs.
$1.50, $100.
We have a motion to, first of all, declare it surplus. We have a second.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it know by saying aye. All opposed, the same. That passes. Now, advertising to accept bids for sale. That's where we're at. I have absolutely no experience in this, so
If I might add some little light to it, when I was working auto theft in Huntsville, assigned down in Montgomery County, we had a huge boneyard is what we called it. And we had several online auction people that handled those vehicles because otherwise that's all we would be doing. I mean, we had over 200 vehicles out there at any given time. And when they go up for auction, once they're awarded to us, then we could sell them. And we put, 40 or 50 at a time on the site during that auction time. And there's no way that we could, 9 of us in the office, could handle 50 vehicles going up for bid. There's just no way. That's just us. That's from my experience. And plus, you don't have to do anything with it. You just contact the company, they come and take pictures for them, and we provided them all the information of the vehicle. It was running when it came out of service, or it was running when the guy was pulled over by the law enforcement person, and that's the last known condition that we have of this vehicle. Otherwise, and there's no warranties or anything on these things.
I've looked at those auction sites. There are a lot of vehicles that don't run.
I'm gonna move that we use the online auction. Sell it online.
Motion made and second to use the online auction to dispose of this surplus items. Any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it know by saying aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 19, discuss and consider approving contract with Texas Facilities Commission, the Texas Health and Human Services Commission offices. This is a contract that is, in fact, we'll be doing a new contract. The other one expired this month. The gentleman was here the 2 gentlemen was here at the last Commissioner's Court. Commissioner Kitchen asked for 75 cents per square foot. They had been told they could offer 50 cents. They came back and said they would pay the 75, and we have the contract here. Daphne has looked over it, and Because it's all good.
Move for approval. Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? All in favor of this motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, the same. There being none, the motion passes. I'd like to say one thing before we adjourn. I failed to mention it in the comments this morning. Former Judge Ford's wife has some health issues, and let's keep them in our prayers. So your motion to adjourn?
And continue to pray for Ms. Hessie.
Yes.
Yes, she is improving every day, so.
Make a motion to adjourn. All in favor, stand.
Opposed, stay.
This program is being brought to you by Young's Welding. For your truck accessory, gateway, or all your other welding needs, be sure to call Young's Welding at 936-544-7432.